Good morning, delightful souls. Good morning, women, precious beings that are here for this journey over the last 5 days, where we're getting to experience different ways and layering of activating our whole body being, mind, body, spirit connection to the ethereal realm, where we know that the mystery of life exists because we exist. And it's a reminder that with conscious conception, we consciously bring in and have a look at the inventory of our life, what we need to do, shift, create, let go of, to be able to fine-tune this vessel that is our body. And again, my friends, as I speak to you, I want you translating this over to your partners, because they're just as much in the fertility as you are, in the seeding and in the gestating. So when you're on your IVF journey and your solo mama going through an IVF journey, part of that's been taken out of the equation by all the physical testing that a male needs to go through to be able to become a sperm donor. And so women would be looking at their profile, their health, depending on which country you go to. There's more rigorous testing that you've got access to on the health, the lifestyle of a particular person, that they need to keep that up to date. It's not just, well, yeah, they just need to keep that up to date so you know that what you're going to be receiving is the best quality. And we do that when we go through a selection criteria. But how often do we do that when we're looking at our lifestyle, taking an inventory of what we're eating, what we're drinking, hygiene practices through sleep, endocrine disruptive chemicals and toxins that we might have in our house, in our workplace? What are we doing to minimize that for us to have the best environment possible to let new life grow? Now, a question in the background is like, but we've been doing this for millennia. And yes, my friends, that is correct. We have been doing this for millennia. But this is the first time in our human species that we are seeing excessively high infertility rates and delayed fertility or sub-fertility rates in the whole world. So I shared with you through these 5 days that my background is a scientist. So I've got a Bachelor of Science, human biology. I did I majored in microbiology and genetics, but worked through pharmaceuticals for a long time, 18 years in my career, where I've interacted with the modern medical system of allopathic healthcare. My role was to be responsible for creating, delivering, packaging changes of 1,800 product lines that went into 78 markets around the world. So I've worked with regulatory bodies, as well as hospital distribution, as well as palliative care, like so many different things in my career, to be able to also know that, and getting in contact with the World Health Organization, because my very first career when I was quite young out of uni was with the vaccines and flu vaccine. So I had access to even the World Health Organization, TGA, etc. Why I'm saying this to you, my friends, is because I'm hoping that it is starting to land that what I'm about to say to you is the infertility, or I call it subfertility, not infertility. So please, I'm going to correct myself. the sub-fertility, the delayed fertility that we are seeing around us now, like you women, the women that I work with, the women that I have insights to, you're amazing, you're incredible, you're conscientious, you're wanting to do the right things. You're on your way there, but it's not happening. And so when we see statistics now that say 1 in 6 people worldwide will experience some kind of delayed fertility, it still blows my mind. But more than blowing my mind, I just feel this rock and this heaviness that sits right in the center of my diaphragm. I kid you not, my friends, that's what happens to me when I cannot fathom. And so where we used to say, now when I say worldwide, I mean even in those countries and places where fertility was like, having 8, 9, 10 children, people are struggling worldwide. And just as you were tossing and turning at nighttime, just as you were agonizing, just as you are now scrolling and figuring out where you're going to put your money towards, how long is this going to be, how much it's taking out of you just to be able to get over the line, this is having an overall impact on the quality of your life. And so 1 in 6, I'm here to change that. And so when I work with you, when I hold my containers, when I hold the retreats, when I do private retreats, here in my home downstairs is a studio space that has its own kitchen, bathroom, sleeping quarters, working space that we work together. All of this over my journey, well over a decade, has been to who I work with not to have those 1 in 6 stats. So when I work with you, my stats in my personal field gets changed. And so when I worked for Monash IVF and they invited me for that 6-month pilot program, I had a boutique corporate gym in the local area. And so even though I was going to train the women at 1 day a week, I invited their partners to come along, and then they were coming and training privately with me. And that was looking at the primary lifestyle factors of exercise, 5% of losing 5% body fat if you are slightly overweight will re-regulate ovarian function. It is a proven fact. It is proven science. And I've got to see it time and time and time again, taking people through fitness routines and the like. My success rate is 70%. So, and it's been like that for a really, really long time. Through the Monash IVF days. And then when I started doing more teacher training, I became a yoga qualified teacher. I then went on to do intimacy coaching, tantra, for feminine embodiment, masculine embodiment. I went to that teacher training because when I was at Monash IVF, and then I invited to bring the men in, I'm going to talk about mattress sense. I'm going to talk about some other concepts here, which is why I am weaving a story before we go into today's practice. This is something layering again in activating the feminine essence that is a living, breathing body within us, and activating the masculine essence, the masculine energy. And so this is why I'm going into a bit of a backstory. Now, I remember one very specific point where I said to the head team at Monash IVF, I've got a really strong gut feel. Can we bring in the males? Can we also bring in the males to do this program? They said yes. The males came in literally by the second week. Now, back then, 15 years ago, IVF was only open to heteronormative couples. So that's male-female dynamic. You could freeze your eggs only if you had a life-threatening disease or illness. There was no same-sex couples. There was no solo mamas by choice, or I don't even say by choice, because some mamas don't want to be single on their own, but they're choosing to do this on their own because the other factors in their life have not eventuated. And what I got to see in one of those sessions, because we're building it up, like I do here, I build it up and build it up. And I got to see that in some of the couples, there was this incredible highway of energy. Like we were doing some shadow boxing, and I could just feel and see them building and like going, they weren't just boxing. There was this essence and energy that was coming through them that was like looking at each other's eyes. And it's like, this is what we're doing. Look at what we're doing. Look, this is what we're creating. Look at what we're doing. And it was like and it blew my heart open. It blew my heart open. And I got to see a flavor of relating and relationship that I realized that even me in my marriage back then, I lost it. And so anyway, went on to the intimacy relationship journey based on that particular moment. I did it for the fertility, so I can see what else I needed to learn to cultivate that. And I was also gifted so much more, even in my own exploration of intimacy coaching, feminine embodiment, masculine embodiment, magnetism of the masculine and the feminine. The other part of the equation that I saw while I worked in the IVF clinic was a vacating. And this is just as much what propelled me to say there is something more here. We are losing touch in the most primal essence of our humanity, and that is procreation. And the vacancy, my friends, my experience was there was a receding of the eyes. There was a sallowing and a graying of the energy field, which felt like gray, because this exuberance and the shining through of life force had taken its toll, and there was just this receding and this receding. Women would be going through miscarriages, and then I would be asking what support they've got at home. They couldn't talk to their partners, or their partners weren't interested. Others were telling me that they would make lunch, but this is full on. It's like I'm making his lunch for work, but I just want to stab him in the eye. I mean, that's the shit that was portraying and coming through. And this is the essence. This is not the fertile ground, my friends. To be able to open up and to be in that softness, to be in that receptivity, to be in that spirit of love, that's part of the magic. That's part of the drawing in. Conscious conception is you having an inventory of your life and conscientiously making those choices for you to be ready. Sacred conception is that immaculate, majestic moment of your body being that vessel to receive in a place of surrender. And so these are the nuances. These are the bits that we can play with and massage as we continue to work together, as you continue to take this on your journey. Now, I spoke of mattress sense, and I'm just going to bring my phone up here. I spoke of mattress sense, my friends, and mattress sense is, the best way I could explain it is the seventh sense. So we've got our five senses of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, feeling. And then there's that sixth sense of like, oh, there's tingles of, like even yesterday going through the shamanic journeys, palatably feeling that energy that is all around you and going, whoa, this is like palatable. It's like I can feel it, just like I'm feeling my physical body. So that's our sixth sense coming on. There is also mattress sense. And let me know in the comments if you have experienced mattress sense. I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that it is a full-bodied yes. And mattress sense is when, whether you consciously are here going, wow, I'm ready to have a baby, or whether you're doing life and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing a maternal health center, I'm seeing pregnant women everywhere. Why am I seeing prenatals come up? I haven't even been writing about pregnancy and preconception, but all of a sudden there's an ad on folic acid. I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. All of a sudden, your sensory field has grown for you to be able to sense what it is going to be like, because your maternal genes for procreating are starting to turn on like light switches. Have you felt that? Would you agree that mattress sense is very, very much here for you, frontline and center? And I'm going to say it's a yes, because you've signed up for this part of your fertility journey. Some of you are seeing naturopaths, acupuncturists, Chinese medicine, coming in for womb alignment, looking at your menstrual health, coming forward for vaginal steaming, going through IVF, wanting to take a holiday to relax and restore. Like, these are all part of the mattress sense. My loves, I want to reinforce that nature is supporting you and working and collaborating with you to procreate. We are going towards a negative decline, and our human race biology is not ready for that. It does not want that. So we are being shaken and stirred. We have had a lot of changes in our atmospheric world worldwide. So the 1 in 6 fertility that we're seeing worldwide is a result of the Industrial Revolution that has gone on steroids. We have grown and built and conquered so much, so fast, and have introduced so many chemicals in our world that it is affecting our hormones. It's endocrine. I'm losing my words. They're endocrine disruptive chemicals. And so we might be eating well, or what we feel isn't eating well, but how else can we clean up our home and our environment to also help ourselves with our bodily functions, not take on such a toxic load? So, but yeah. Mm, mm. We saw how miracles can happen, through your friendship networks, through other people that have been attempting to get pregnant. I know right here, right now, there are people that have been given little to no chance of getting pregnant. But I know many of you, and the resourcefulness and the essence that you tap into to find ways to make this happen blows me away. To me, it is a daily miracle. When I speak to you, when I hear what we're doing, what you're doing, when I hear and get the pregnancy announcements, the birth announcements, I am blessed enough to be in the miracle of creation on a daily basis. And this is my Dharma. This is why I love doing what I'm doing. And I will continue learning and growing to bring you whatever I can to meet you where you're at and to have the communication with your spirit baby to allow those messages to come through and unfold. My friends, I talked about my time at IVF. I'm going to fast forward to when I was doing my Tantra teacher training. It was a full-on intensive in the human spirit. It has been the most incredible initiation of a teaching body and a living body of work that I have ever done in my life. And I say this because I started changing and shape-shifting and being a version of myself that I knew was possible, but I just didn't have the pathway of getting there. And it's not just about having orgasms and, prolonged sex, etc. Tantra is the embodiment of human spirit in this physical body. It is seeing and experiencing the spirit of love in the everyday. I'm looking in this computer screen. I don't know when you're going to come on, but I have so much love in my heart. I have got your names on my altar that I read out, that I just touch and brush on, that brings me joy. I live in the forest, so I open up the window, I'll open the back, shade up. It's not good for doing video calls at 6:30 in the morning when it's pitch black, but I will let the forest in, nature in, because I am nature. And so one of the most beautiful things that I got to experience is also the masculine essence, the masculine psyche, the feminine psyche, and the magnetism of the body, these exercises and practices that we can do that actually bring this incredible magnetic force together. And so we did that with our hands. We're going to do that again today. I discovered how to make love a meditation. So just as we meditate and go into those higher realms, there is also the slowing down, the smelling, the tasting, the sensory awakening, and being in the spirit of love in my own heart that allows that making love a meditation. So whether it is with yourself and your own pleasure body, whether it's with your partner, and we can also draw that in when we're going in for our IVF treatment, when we're going in for the embryo to unite with your body. I take you through a process. I take you through a deep dive of calling that in for yourself before you go in for what is called the procedure. And so we're bringing that in. Everything is sacred, which is why I say if you're going through IVF, have some packaging on your altar. They are part of your spirit team. They're part of your conception team wanting to bring this child forth. Now, my friends, I did my teacher training and I was not with a partner. And I went into a deep dive. I knew I needed to write a book. That happened like maybe a year or two later, but I started sensing the book and all the client anecdotes and the clients that I was working in, the work that I was doing. I was having so many downloads of how Tantra for fertility is an ancient body of work that has not been given to the modern day person. And so I did a 1-year research assignment on that. I'm bridging science and spirituality together, sexuality, spirituality, and science together. Like, that's what I do. I ran a 16-week program. I invited people to come along. Within that 1 year, everyone was pregnant. And that's with a 16-week program, which involved more of the intimacy piece, the feminine magnetism, the masculine magnetism for those people that decided to come on with their partner. And so there's much of what I do that is stemmed from that work and that research that I've done. Lastly, a year later, as soon as I finished my year teacher training, well, part of that, I walked the Camino, had an incredible 1,000-kilometer journey of walking out my life's thoughts, which made way for other stuff to come in. I met my partner. And long story short, he was quite tantric in nature as well. So I got to live and breathe all my teacher training and what I felt was possible through ancient sexuality rites, as well as the fertility rites. Unbeknownst to me, because back then I didn't want to have any more children. I was nearing my 45th year, and my other two children were 18 and 21, but literally they were having their birthdays within a month of each other of 18 and 21. I became pregnant naturally, and blown away that, wow, what I was living, breathing, researching, and doing bought my fertility online, and we became pregnant at 45. Now, that child did not make it earthside. It was not fit for life to be able to continue with that. And so the circumstances at that moment meant that I couldn't progress, and we chose not to progress. So I hope that adds to the essence of what is possible. And so today, my friends, we are going to the essence, and the energy that I'm bringing into the intention is the magnetism of the masculine and the feminine, but we're going to be working with the feminine piece today and bringing forth a spirit of love, the love currency in the body. And so we're going to be going through a breath practice, which is a variant breathing. So just like we did the Qigong practice where we brought the energy up through the kidneys, we're going to do earth energy and bringing in the breath into the ovaries, into the kidney belt, allowing that through the heart and coming through again. So, and this is where we're breathing. Instead of just breathing here, 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 we are going to be doing whole body breath movement, activating the feminine body. We'll come into a mudra, and I'm going to show you the mudra now. So we're going to interlace our fingers like this, and the little finger, ring finger, and excuse me, the middle finger all join, just like that. And then we're going to bring the index finger and the thumb together. So this, I'll just get up and show you, is a yoni mudra. And that activates the energy and bringing in the circuitry of energy in towards the womb space. So we're going to hold this hand mudra while we go up into the spirit cradle. So my friends, I'm giving you lots of different ways to access your energetic spiritual self, opening up more to the frequency. It's like we're opening up to a portal of a funnel, and then our spirit babe's frequency is like, oh, I'm going to boom and come in and seed. Sounds good? Okay. Just want to make sure that that is on. Good. All right, my friends. I'm going to move my chair out of the way. I'm going to light our candle. So the intention, as the light lights the light of the candle, the blue flame, the strongest, hottest part of the flame that's used to light another light. My intention is that we journey into the feminine essence in our creative field, enliven our magnetic force, and just enjoy being in your stunning, precious body of being. Actually, I'll lean down a little bit so then you can see what we're doing around the feet area. So I think this is the chair. So let me just take the chair out of the way and to have us here. Okay. So my friends, we're going to rub the hands together and we're going to create that magnetic energy like we have been doing. Give it a nice big shake. And start to bring the hands together. Start to move through your hips. Feel yourself grounded through your feet. Open out the toes. And just start to sway from side to side. Try not to let the hands touch each other because they will earth each other. If they do touch, you can start to rub them and shake them and play with your energy field. So as we're swaying from the left to the right, imagine that through your feet, you can pull up the air, you can pull up the prana from the earth prana into the body. So we're sniffing. So I'm using a strong sniff breath so you can hear me. And now you're going to start to cross the hands over. So we're lifting, say, from the knee up to the side of the belly. So remember how we did the positioning of the ovaries when we did the triangle hands right down near the bottom of the groin. Oh, sorry, I've lost my flow. There we are. So this is what we're doing. Now we're going to come lower. Really scooping it up from the feet. Sniff, scoop, scoop, sniff, scoop, sniff. And when you sniff and place, you just put your index and your thumb together and you pull these fingers right into your ovarian space. So right into this area down here. Keep going. Keep going. So crossing over and seeding, crossing over, seeding, crossing over from the floor up and seeding. Beautiful. We're going to take it one step further now. As we take it up and we seed, hold the breath, take it back behind you, sniff a little bit more. And come through again. Sniff, sniff. Back to the kidneys. Draw in air. Release. Sniff. Sniff. Kidney belt. Release through the heart space. And again. Keep going and feel where your awareness goes, energy flows. We are drawing in the prana of the earth. We are oxygenating through the kidneys, our ovaries. We're bringing that essence and that feminine flow through the arms, through the heart, the hugging, the wanting to nurture. This here, my friends, your From the heart space, your arms want to extend. They want to pick up a baby. They want to nurse it right into the heart space. They want to hold it. You want to hold it. This is that energy coming into that flow, that whole body flow that is your gorgeous feminine essence. Keep going. A few more rounds. Couple more rounds. And just slow it down. Close down your eyes and feel. Now, if you're activated and you're feeling a little bit dizzy, just have your eyes semi-open. Slow down your breath. And just let that energy have its way with you. Let this life force energy of picking up the earth's bounty, taking that into your body, filling up your cup. Noticing if you're feeling as depleted after that practice. Notice where you're feeling that activation. And now we're going to come into the Yoni Mudra. So interlacing the fingers and letting the last three fingers join at the fingertips, the best way that you can. And then let the index finger and the thumb join. So if you need a reminder of what that looks like, I'm going to bring it up towards the screen. So I'm just going to open up my hands just so you can see the three fingers, index finger, thumb. Bringing your hands onto the lower belly. And you can be either lying down or in a seated position. Mm. Again, we're going into scanning the body and noticing sensations, opening into the curiosity. Fine-tuning your awareness. And trusting that what you're feeling in your body of being, this energetic force, when we start rising the consciousness further up the funnel, further up the Sushumna channel, the golden rod of the spine, past the crown of the head. As you're feeling this body and energy tingling, maybe drawing down, spreading out. But when we go higher and higher into the soul cradle, trust that energetic field that pours down to make itself known is your spirit being of your baby, this higher mattress sense. And so let us begin. Feeling that breath being drawn up through the feet, landing in your Yoni Mudra, landing right into this triangle piece, the shape you've created. Breathing up through the earth, letting it full and fulfill around the band of your womb space, your back into the hands, and exhaling it back out through the feet. Let's get comfortable with the energy highway, the pranic or the chi highway of coming up and down the body from the feet to the hands. So when we go further up, we're gently and extending that same energy awareness. And you might have thoughts come through over the last 5 days of the inventory that we have taken through your physical body of being. Maybe you've started to change some of your lifestyle factors. Just noticing and observing what comes through with the currency of the life force, the innate intelligence. When you have that intuitive hit of something that you need to do, change, or even let go of, please follow it, because it tells the universe that you are listening and it will give you stronger messages. Let's take the breath further up into the heart, down the legs. I'm going to invite you to rock your body as you do this. I find that it allows the energy in our female form to naturally flow. It feels softer, calmer, maybe playful. Curious. Starting to rock through your pelvic floor, through your yoni, through the back to the front, rocking, activating, painting the honey pot with luscious, sweet honey. Starting to pull that energy higher up through the column of the neck, around the head. Taking the awareness of the breath with those deep breaths into the apex of the mind, right up to the top of the head. And taking a nice deep breath in, hold the breath right at the top and start to squeeze the pelvic floor together like little pulses. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Activating the energetic pump, the sensual, sexual pump. Let the breath go, let the pelvic floor go, and just notice. There might be a streaming of energy washing around your body. Let's do that again. Wave the body through. We're going to do this 3 times over. Remember, we're breathing in so fully from the feet, the nose, the skin, taking it up to the crown of the head, top of head. Softening through the heart, feeling that nurturing, nourished heart space, calling in the spirit of love. It is an essence, a frequency, letting that be here with you now. Take that nice deep breath in, suspend, hold the breath. Squeeze, 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 squeeze from the back to the front like a zip. Lift up slightly. So it's a zip from the back to the front and a little sip right up into the internal organs. When you're ready to exhale, exhale out. Just pausing in stillness and noticing. And one more time, let us rock it. Let us feel the energy body grow, taking up the room, feeling the space around your skin, the flowing of your body, being connected to the whole space and the body of space in the room, through the roof, through the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in, hold, pulse, 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 until you're ready to release. Take your awareness top of mind. If it felt powerful for you to have a bird ally to come up to the soul cradle, I invite you to call your bird or any other ally, or just simply through your mind's eye, elevate past the space of the room, past the roof, into the atmosphere around your home. Allow the wind current to take you up, to gently float you upwards past the canopy of all the trees, seeing your suburb getting smaller and smaller, feeling the crown of the head growing bigger and bigger, meeting the cloud formations shape-shifting in the wind, seeing the steadiness of the blue sky, and meeting the blue light, the hottest part of the flame. And you're up in the funnel now, and just float around and call for your spirit baby. What is in the womb, what is in your heart, it's calling for the energy, the frequency, the energetic imprint of the soul of your baby. And when it meets you, it's like two magnets coming together. It may feel like energy pouring down your body. It may translate as tears welling up into your eyes. meeting and greeting a precious friend or a lover. This is your child. Play in the soul cradle, play in the playground, noticing all the other spirits around your baby. It's soul family, it's brothers, sisters, it's community. Once it's in physical form, your baby will meet the kindred spirits just as you have in your lifetime. Those people that you felt like you've known forever, they're the spirits that you've played with in the soul cradle. So experience your baby's community while you experience your baby. And be open to any other messages from the Great Mother, from the soul of your baby, the unified field of all of creation. Come into any other messages that your mattress sense needs to feel, hear, and experience now. And let us begin to make our way down. Just creating that space, knowing that that superhighway of connection, of energetic presence, but is that not the spirit of love itself? Knowing you will meet in physical form and just be in full love and presence through your spirit connection, loving each other so fully, so completely, dissolving the fears, the doubt, and coming down past that blue sky. Noticing the clouds shape-shifting through the wind, letting yourself float down, come down, seeing your suburb getting bigger and bigger, seeing this land that you were choosing to birth, to seed, to birth, welcoming you back fully. in your physical form and presence, past the roof, feeling yourself in the space of your home, your room, your chair, or the support that's beneath you. Unraveling your fingers, just letting them touch in a prayer position. Bringing that womb energy into the heart space, holding your heart. You may want to hold steady, or you may want to rub and connect and lovingly touch yourself with this energy, with this spirit of love, brushing your body, your hair, your face, showering yourself with the love. Knowing that you can visit this space again and again. And gently opening out your eyes, meeting in that beautiful heart smile. I felt some incredible, incredible spirits coming and wanting to play today. I felt the joy. I felt so many little souls that are all intermingling and talking about how they're going to refine themselves when they're in human form. This place and space of the Soul Cradle holds the evolution of our humanity. And as I said to you, my love, we are going through a decline, and the universe is not wanting this. So we need to find the ways to educate ourselves and empower ourselves to clean, to clear as much as we can, to help all this other crapola that has been infiltrated through food, chemicals, etc. I'm not going to go into it again because I want us going on a high. But what I'll do is I'm going to create another video as a bonus. I'll just create it and pop it in the group. I'm going to channel it further after having heard from some of you, having felt the essence and the energy over the last 5 days. And I will speak into another video about how you can strengthen these practices for yourself and keep them as your supportive allies moving forward. Sending you so much love from my heart and from my womb to your heart, to your womb. Blessed be.